Right, so I'm not really one for talking, so you're not getting much. Thank you all for coming and joining our special day. It does really mean a lot to us. For me, this is a dream come true, having everyone here and getting to marry my best friend. We've both had such lovely and supportive friends and family around us that have made the planning so much easier. And we can't thank you all enough. Skye, you look amazing, and you've done everything to help everyone else have the best day as possible. I also want to say a massive thank you for everyone involved with my wedding present, because you really did all kill me last night. Those that know, Skye's made a scrapbook with everyone's letters who's really close to us. And it was a very emotional night, which is why I'm not crying today. But yeah, it meant a lot to me, so thank you. But I hope you all have a good night, just like we do.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Owen. I'm 23. I'm a heart surgeon at the LGI, and I currently live on Wigton Lane. For those of you who do know me, please keep quiet for the sake of today. I just wanted to start by thanking the bridesmaids. You look absolutely fantastic. You look, to be honest, almost as good as me. But then again, I did put in a lot less effort than you did, so. As a best man, I know it's tradition to make jokes about the bride and groom on the wedding day, but this is my first lesbian wedding, and to be totally honest with you, I'm not fully sure which is the bride and which is the groom, so I'll leave that for later. It's actually quite funny because before I met Skye and Ellie, I'd never met a lesbian who was bad at pool, so there we are. I met Skye and Ellie about 5 years ago in the Charles Henry Row in Crossgates. They were working there at the time, and then, unfortunately for everyone else, I was too, about 6 months later. From day one, Ellie was weirdly good at everything. She loved doing the opens, not because she was hard-working, but because it meant she could be back in bed by 2 p.m. And I have a feeling that you also liked it because you used to love to see me stumbling hungover every single day at 6 in the morning. Every single shift, without fail, whether it was chaos or quiet, the first thing I'd hear is, I can't be arsed. And nothing has changed since those early days. To be totally honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if you're in bed by 8 o'clock tonight. I know Ellie doesn't come out too much very often, but when she does, you certainly know about it. Most of the times it's just a quiet few in the pub, but there's about a 1 in 100 chance when we used to be able to convince you to come into town with us. And when she does, she goes from, I can't be arsed, to the last one standing, the loudest person in the room, and somehow the most chaotic. And I'll admit, I was always the one encouraging it, which is why the next day we'd always have the same conversation. How much did you spend last night? Don't want to talk about it. I think the best way to sum Ellie up is one night she drank a full bottle of wine in less than an hour, wrapped herself in a blanket, and ran round the house shouting, I'm Batman. Meanwhile, Skye was also racing round the house, telling her off like she was a child. And it's those moments where I always sat back and think, I couldn't imagine my life in any other way. Now, I actually met Skye about half an hour before I met Ellie. She was working a shift and I was a customer. This was long before I worked there. And instead of doing a job, she decided to stand at my table and repeat to me the most offensive jokes she could find on Google. That went on for way longer than an hour. From that moment, I knew that you'd fit perfectly. But honestly, Skye, you're one of the most genuine people I know. And the way you deal with Ellie, especially on nights where she's running around as Batman, I'm honestly very impressed. Together, you're unbelievably stubborn. to the point where I genuinely don't know who wins sometimes. You can argue about things from time to time, and sometimes even deciding whether to go to the pub or not's a debate, until I get a call from one of you saying, 3-letter word. That's pub for anyone who didn't pick up.
Pub question.
But jokes aside, these two have been there for me more than I could properly put into words. They bought me a pint when I didn't have a penny, given me somewhere to stay if I needed it, and picked me up when I was at my lowest. And you've never made a big thing of it. You've always just been there. And I think that says everything about who you are, individually and together. So, Ellie, for someone who spent years saying, can't be arsed, you've managed to somehow organise a wedding and marry someone truly incredible. And Skye, fair play. Because living with Ellie is a full-time job in itself. But genuinely, you two just work, and I couldn't be happier for you both. So if we could all please raise a glass. I won't raise. Not yet, bloody hell. Ellie and Skye, may our arguments stay pointless. May our nights out keep us skint. And may Ellie finally, one day, win a game of pool. To the brides.
And Kyle. The brother Kyle.
Kyle next.
Do it for me.
Good afternoon. Is that even working?
Yeah. Speak.
Hello?
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Get a bit closer.
Good afternoon, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Kyle, Skye's favourite brother. Which isn't hard, seeing as I'm the only one. Now, this is usually the part where the father of the bride speaks, but due to some creative family logistics, you've got me instead.
Eleanor killed him.
So instead, Ellie, you can call me Daddy. I don't normally do speeches, as you can see, so I asked for some advice. Someone told me, if you get nervous, imagine the crowd naked. So, Jay, you look fantastic today. But in all seriousness, growing up with Skye was eventful, a bit like her hair choices. Oh, yes. Over the years, there was a time she shaved all her hair off and started wearing a wig. Do you remember that? Oh, yes.
All remember that.
Which, if I remember correctly, later on, ended up in a tree after a school incident. And there was a time she decided to cut her own hair at the age of 7 and thoughtfully decided to store the evidence in our mum's knife drawer. Nothing says I've made a mistake quite like hiding your haircut next to the cutlery. But jokes aside, growing up with you has been one of the greatest privileges of my life. You've always been strong, kind and completely yourself, no matter what hairstyle you were going through at the time. I'm so proud of the person you've become, and I'm genuinely honoured to stand here today and be part of such an important moment in your life. And to Ellie, thank you for loving my sister, and for putting up with our family, and for officially becoming part of the chaos. To Skye and Ellie, may your life together be full of love, laughter and slightly few questionable hair choices. So finally, let's raise a glass to the happy couple. Thank you.
Now time to cry.
Can't wait. I don't make me cry. Get the tissue.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I trust you.
Yeah. For all you young ones, pen and paper. Can't fault that. There you go. Thank you. Oh, Crumbly's clapping.
Thank you.
First of all, welcome everybody.
You're not close enough.
Can you hear everyone?
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. For those who don't know, I'm Ellie's dad. This is Ellie's mum.
Look at the colour difference.
So, first of all, I think you can all agree how beautiful both brides look today. So, congratulations and well done. You look great. Thank you. Thank you to the bridesmaids. We're all scattered all over. There's hundreds of them. I have got a favourite. I'm not waving at you, Chloe. And Paige Bride Blake. Looks amazing. Owen, Alex, you also look great too. So don't worry. Thank you to Helen and Kyle for welcoming Ellie into our family, or into your family, and the crazy gang as well. Welcome. So thank you. And finally, thank you everyone for joining us today on this special day to celebrate, obviously, the wedding of our daughter to Skye. So thank you. There's only 6 pages. Put that bit down first. I have numbered them if I get them.
On the floor.
Yeah, organised. Right, let's see if we get through this in one piece. Well, on the 9th or 10th of January 2002, because I always get a date of birth wrong.
On what day?
Doesn't matter about that. I said 9th or 10th.
Choose one.
Thank you, 10th. You made mine and your mum's life jigsaw complete. Thanks. We'd already had 2 of you two. Believe it or not, you came into this life, this world, calm, quiet and confidently. But you've continued through life in the same manner, maybe not as quiet, but calm and confidently throughout life. In that caring, confident manner that you have, which is endearing to everyone that's ever met you. You and your brothers are our greatest accomplishment. I have to breathe then. And me and your mum treasure every moment that we have with you both. And we're just grateful for you are who you are. So thank you. Page 3. Oh, here we go. Right. Being the youngest, Ellie's always been trying to play catch up with her brothers, Lewis and Fraser. Whether that was playing football with them, she'd always be the one that would be shouting, pass, 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 louder than everybody else, running the fastest and furthest than everybody else. Or whether it was on a Saturday night, we'd always do something that was called fight night. Right, so there's no social services involved in this bit. But what we all used to do, so I used to, on all fours in the living room, and I'd send her, wait, there's a minute, you've got your bit. I would crawl on all fours on the living room, send them all to all corners of the living room, and then say, right, so what we'd say, then we'd say, it's fight night, what are the rules?
There are no rules.
And they'd all come running in from every corner to fight and jump on me, obviously, on the back, and we'd wrestle and everything else. But obviously, I had 2 older brothers. Ellie would come in wheeling like a windmill, like trying to allow anybody in the sight out, and just jump on me with red faces. So that was our Saturday weekend entertainment. So that was brilliant. Now we got that's 1. What's that? 4.
We're lost already. We're numbered, but we don't know what order.
I can count.
Are you sure?
Just spelling I can't do.
That's all right.
Yeah. On a sensitive note, though, Ellie always wanted to be with everybody. She always, whether it was going to the tip, which she insisted calling the dump.
Yep.
Whether it was going with her mum to the shops, helping her mum childmind with all the children that we used to look after, she'd be always the one with her hand up first wanting to help. And that's never changed throughout, obviously, from the testaments that everyone said here today. She was always, as soon as she was old enough, she obviously wanted to get a job, and she got a job at Wetherspoons at Garforth, and soon after she met Skye. It took a while to meet the infamous Skye, to be fair. But then we would always ask him when we were going to meet her. And then one night we got the call. So we got that call, can you pick us up? So I had to pick her up. But the only reason that I picked her up, though, was she'd fallen, smashed her face up, and I had to take her to the hospital to glue her chin up together.
The whole way there, like this.
Yeah. So that was the first time. But ever since then, they've been inseparable. They shortly moved in with us, along with their adorable cat, Luna. Don't think our cat, Millie, was quite appreciative of it. And our dog, Bailey, was pretty confused at all these cats running around in his house. But they were inseparable, and you could see how happy they were together. 5. So obviously they were inseparable. So everyone was happy. We could see how happy they were. The only person that probably wasn't happy, in the sciencey sense, is the fact that Ellie was always one that had come with me to the dump, whether it was a delivery to obviously round the corner or other side of England. It's obviously a delivery, but those days had then gone. And I did weep a little bit. I didn't have my baby by my side, but there were plenty mucked in. But you could see how happy she was, and both were at bar together, and that's continued to this day. They then obviously rented a house together, and me and Jill were so impressed and proud how well they managed independent life and how structured and organised they both are together. And we were proud to see what the women they've come to become.
Six?
Yeah, 6. Yeah. As all my 3 children will tell you, we don't do favourites. Don't particularly like any of them, but we don't do favourites. But today, Ellie, you are my favourite.
I always am.
Daughter. Don't get carried away, don't worry. And I suppose, I'm sure all the dads in the room that have got daughters will obviously look forward to this day, hopefully, but also dread it. Because this is a day that I have to give the only prize that I have. Not that you lot aren't prizes. But I'm a simple man with simple pleasures. And as my kids will also tell you, I am tight. So to give anything away is something really special. So, baby, I'm really proud of you. And I'm not giving you away forever, but I know I'm giving you away to the right person and the person that you love. So if you could all be upstanding and join me in a toast. Health, wealth, happiness, Ellie and Skye.
Yeah,
Ellie and Skye.
I love you so much. Can't get Skye. I love you, Skye.
Right, you haven't done me.
I love you.
Oh, I missed you.
We miss people.
Thank you.
Thank you.